Growing up in Serbia, the one thing that really inspired me was the folk music over there. And basically when I say folk music, it is definitely not like American country and western or Americana folk. The folk over there is full of features like odd meters, very interesting melodies. Basically the Balkans, which is the area of Europe where Serbia lies geographically, is a place where lots of cultures came and went and sort of merged. So the music is a really beautiful combination of a lot of different influences. You have the Slavic influence because the Serbs are Slavs, then you have the Middle Eastern influence because the Turks were there for a long time. And so all of that kind of came together into this amalgam that is really inspiring. And even for a kid, even before I knew what 7/8 meant or 13, 16, I was listening to that kind of stuff and sort of soaking it in through just osmosis as opposed to, reading, writing. In the West, there's this question mark when an odd meter gets played and people get a little bit stiff about it. But the truth is that over there, very often the meters are based off of a melody. In other words, they're not just something that somebody thought up in a room and then decided, oh, we'll try this. No, I mean, people just came up with a melody and then the drummer comes in and he tries to play the melody with them. The resulting meter ends up being whatever that melody is, and very often, like I said, they end up playing 11, 16, or 13, 16, 7/8, 9/8, just based on a musical reason as opposed to a mathematical one. I was born in 1972, and the country was still together, so it was Yugoslavia, and Serbia was a part of a bigger country. But I have to say, I mean, contrary to what people may think about places in Eastern or Southeastern Europe, I mean, while I was there, it was actually really good. I felt like things were conducive to somebody doing what I did. In other words, getting hooked on something and then really doing whatever they possibly could to get further along with it. Miroslav Karlovic, who was my first drum teacher, not only was he an amazing teacher on a subject, but he's a true pedagogue in the sense that he was just always able to get through. And I mean, for me now, also doing some teaching, I just feel like if I do a 50% job that he does, I'm doing great. As far as who had that brilliant idea of sending me to Berkeley, it was my teacher Miroslav Karlovic, and there was an American drummer who used to live in Serbia, and his name was David Moss. He's a great drummer from Chicago, also a really good teacher and definitely an influence in my life. He was the one that really pushed for me going to Berklee College of Music. I guess he had some firsthand knowledge of what was going on in the States and especially at Berklee. You know, my parents were certainly visionaries in the sense that they allowed a kid of 16 and 8 months, to be exact, to just pick up and go, and not to mention the fact that they supported wholeheartedly everything I was doing, but not in a blind way. They really made me work. I mean, they really made me prove to them that this was not a fad, a passing fancy, whatever. You know, they really wanted to know that this was what I said it was, which was basically my life. And it, you know, here we are 20 years later, and it has really become my, you know, it has become my life.